in 2004 in a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore, done with deep concern about economics and ecology. Our family home, Varanashi house, designed for my wife Vishala, daughters Gauri and Siri. The car porch has up to 15,000 litre capacity of rainwater and the local water supply underneath, and has a flowering roof above. House also can be entered from another door into the fairly spacious front setback, which will lead us along a gently curving wall in exposed hollow clay block towards the veranda. In Kannada, it's called Jagali. Now, the whole idea here was to create an overview of the house, which in this case is natural materials covered with greenery, and then create a sense of entry. As we enter the house, we see space. But it is spacious not because of a large hall. It is spacious because of three sides. There are sliding and folding doors. From inside, we see the greenery outside, the water body outside. It's a concept wherein the space expands into outside as well. All around, natural materials, hollow clay block exposed, and the very traditional red oxide flooring. Sliding folding doors not only are connecting the inside to outside, on the top, we also have openings for taking the hot air out. So the principles of designing for air, cross ventilation, displacement ventilation, and the body level breeze are brought into it. The location of the windows is such that sitting anywhere in the house, we don't get to see glare at all. The fact that it is a open planning also allows it to become multifunctional. And at one end, we have the puja space, which is an open puja. It's not an enclosed room with the lamp which will be lit 24 hours. The three sliding folding doors, one opens to an extended living room into a garden with stone benches and a rose apple fruiting tree. Other side opens to the water body, the fish pond and the cascade, and the other side opens to the kitchen garden, the open water well, and again some fruit trees in that area. The kitchen cum dining virtually is the family space. Cooking, storing and eating, and of course also washing. So it's a comparatively slightly larger space to accommodate all these activities there.
We both didn't believe in Vastu, concentrated on the utilitarian and the aesthetic part of the house. We have the kitchen right in the front. Whoever works in the kitchen can look at the gate and know instantly who is coming to the house, which is a great benefit. It gives you a great sense of security.
The kitchen has windows to all the four directions, partly achieved by the plan making. The window to the west from the kitchen shows us the road for security, facilities, roadside vendors, guests who are coming, we can look at them. There are windows to the utility side, which is the north, and window to the west, which overlooks the main door. Window to the east, which is the garden, is floor to ceiling. We get to see both the earth and the sky. The windows are so located, a lot of daylight comes in. There are one or two other features in the whole kitchen to make it more eco-friendly. Like we have a natural chimney, it's not electric chimney. All the interiors are done with pine wood. The whole idea was to create a place which is as natural as possible. The living room extends to open puja, and then we have the guest bed there. Interestingly, if somebody walks into the living room, they cannot look into the kitchen, they cannot look into the bedroom. There's total privacy achieved. This has been achieved by having a plan approach, which is having very minimal internal walls and largely an external wall which is going around in a very staggered way. The guest bedroom is very strategically located with two corner diagonal windows, so it brings in light. One side floor to ceiling tall window, so that the lower part opens like any other normal window, bringing the fresh air from the garden side. The next division opens up so that we can look out of the window, so we can keep the lower part of the shutter closed, upper part open, again traditional. Above that we have fixed glass, so even if the curtains are rolled, we still get light, so we need not put on electric light. And at the highest level there is an opening for the hot air to go out, the displacement ventilation. So the idea of the window design takes care of the basic purposes of security, view, light, air, privacy. Attached toilet, flooring is with local granite. Dadooing is done only where water falls, rest of it is left exposed with the hollow clay block. It's not just a mere ventilator but a window with ventilator. And toilets are most often most neglected in houses. We need to ensure toilets are fresh and lit. Space under the staircase is largely used for storage, and the remaining part is used as a powder room. Though it is an RCC staircase, by keeping the wooden tread and the wooden riser with the lathe turned wooden railing, one could make it blend with the rest of the naturalness of the house in terms of materiality and construction systems. A house becomes truly a home when it becomes the real manifestation of the way the family lives in that house. We are a dialogue-based office. We try a lot to create houses for people to live by as per their lifestyle. When we say we are designing a house with nature, we should incorporate as many elements of nature as possible. There is an open well, but we use it for the overflow from the overhead water tank, and also the overflow from the rainwater harvesting sump also comes into the open well for groundwater recharging. So in other words, no rainwater which falls on the site goes out of the site. Today it appears to be very fashionable to have many materials, finish, many interior details in a house. It looks maybe attractive, or it may be looking visually very cluttered. This is virtually a single material house. The flooring all over is red oxide, except the puja room, toilet, veranda. The walls hollow clay block exposed, except one or two walls where we had to do some tiling. Ceiling is normal RCC in the ground floor, but in the first floor filler slab. Designing a room for two small children to grow up is always a challenge. When they're young, we need space for two tables, two cots, two wardrobes. In our case, the room is designed keeping both in mind. Today, for two children, 20 years down the line, maybe a double bedroom. The room opens to the eastern side garden with the full set of windows. On the western side, it is slightly folding door which opens to the balcony and a complete view up to the horizon. So the idea was to create a room which is virtually see-through across, so that enough amount of light and air will come from there, so we could afford to have the southern side completely blocked, both to avoid sunlight and bringing in the heat, and to ensure total privacy from the neighbor's side. Along with the filler slab which is coming on top, the house stays very cool in summer, even in the afternoons as well as in the night. As we come into the family space, primarily it is just one open rectangle, but this open rectangle has supported multitudes of activity, from playing table tennis, guests to sleep overnight, family activities of different kinds in general. But one of the highlights of the house has been the skylight here. So the ground is well lit by three-side garden by a staggered planning. The first floor takes the skylight. The skylight becomes a tall window towards the northern garden side. Virtually the floor to ceiling window, so we can see the earth and the sky as much as we can, of course. From the family space, one door opens to the front balcony towards the west, and the balcony gets what we call as the curved vaulted hourdi roof. Is also one of the special features of this house. Ideally speaking, every house should have a space where we need not worry much about how the room looks, how the room functions. Our study is one such area. We have books and tables and general things, old almiras, and everything is in the so-called study. It's in a way study cum store. But the feature in the study, architecturally speaking, the vaulted curved roof, and it's a filler block roof, which is rather difficult to do, but it makes the room very cool. We can also see the natural chimney going from the ground floor all the way to the terrace. One side of the study, we have the flooring to ceiling window, so we can get to see the eastern side private garden. We can also see the sky completely, and there are provisions for displacement ventilation all around the room to ensure the room stays cool. As an architect, I know this for sure. There are certain areas which are hyped in the house. Puja room definitely one, and of course master bedroom. So when we were designing the house, we critically looked into this question. So our master bedroom has no attached toilet, no walk-in wardrobe, but there's lots of storage space. One side of the wall of the bedroom is completely filled with wardrobe, storage area, dressing mirror and whatnot. With the windows very carefully located, good light ventilation all the time. Though it's a compact bedroom, it works very well. And as we are looking out, we see the garden space there, and actually all the trees and the house form, everything is visible from there. As we climb up to the second floor, a small space with what we are calling as utility, because we have some washing machine and close drying area available there. The whole space is done up with perforated wall, also called a jali wall, which brings light and air, so the clothes dry fast. On top we have normal traditional Mangalore tile roof with glass tiles, again to enable faster drying of clothes. But more than that, it also doubles up as a sitting space whenever needed, when there's a guest staying in the second floor guest room inside. The guest room is comparatively small, but done up completely naturally with the furniture, cot and the storage unit, everything as natural and the antique furniture as possible. As we move out of the so-called utility or veranda, we have the terrace. Like every other terrace, here also we have solar water heater and some terrace gardening, not in a very big way at the moment. One can see the curved roof profile from the study, the natural chimney coming all the way from the kitchen down, and of course a good view all around. One of the features of this terrace is, with some leftover materials, we created an area for seating, which has been used a lot whenever people come together to spend time on the terrace. It's very useful to have it.
We have been living in this house for more than 16 years now, and I can say that it's a very low maintenance house compared to all other conventional houses. I wanted a very simple, minimalistic, yet very elegant and unpretentious house. I'm so glad that our house turned out to be one of such kind.